But I want to acknowledge the moment that we're in right now. We're living in the middle of the COVID pandemic, but as you've mentioned, we're also seeing a mental health pandemic. New Yorkers are struggling with feelings of isolation, fear, and anxiety. We're seeing record increases in depression, suicide attempts, and overdoses. And we're also facing a reckoning around racial justice. And I think, in particular relevance to our work here today, we're facing an inflection point about how our law enforcement systems respond to people in moments of this mental health crisis. As many of you know, today marks 1 week since a 9-year-old Black girl in my city of Rochester was handcuffed, pepper sprayed, and put in the back of a police car during a mental health crisis. We've all seen the footage and we're outraged. And now our mental health system will be left to address the hurt and trauma that was inflicted on this little girl. The wounds we're making today are the trauma, illness, and addiction that we must treat in the decades to come. I bring this up to say that the work we do here today at this budget hearing matters. It matters what programs we're funding, where we locate our services, how much we reimburse our providers, and it matters if culturally competent care is available to our most vulnerable populations. This week, with the support of our community, we introduced two pieces of legislation, one that would ban chemical irritants on minors, and the second, which is Daniel's Law, in name of Daniel Prude, who died last year in police custody while having a mental health crisis. It outlines how New Yorkers experiencing crisis like this or substance abuse crisis can be better served with a public health response. So we begin today's work today holding that little girl in Rochester in our heart because her care and support will determine our future. And we're holding Daniel Prude and his family in our heart because this work here today matters deeply to the people not only in my community, but it matters to all New Yorkers.